What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we are continuing our look at the Transformers TCG by looking at the very last of the character cards to be officially revealed. Although, of course, we got plenty more to profile on this channel, and we will over the coming days and weeks. It is Bumblebee Legendary Warrior, along with Nemesis Prime. This is one of only two secret rare Transformers cards. Secret rares are 1 in 79 packs. There's only two of them, and to be completely blunt with you, ladies and gentlemen, they are not going to be the easiest cards ever to get hold of. I think Nemesis Prime is really good. There'll be a video about that tomorrow or the next day. But what do I think about Bumblebee Legendary Warrior? Well, if we look at the stats, it's got 10 stars. I love that it's got 10 stars, and the reason is super simple. We have got 3 Bumblebee cards. Bumblebee Brave Warrior costs 6. Bumblebee Courageous Scout costs 9. Bumblebee Legendary Warrior costs 10. You are allowed to have 25 stars in total when you make a Transformers deck worth of character cards, and all 3 Bumblebees add up to 25. That means we can have a full Bumblebee deck. That makes me really quite happy. I'm not saying they have the most natural synergy, we'll look at that another time. We will do a video about the all Bumblebee deck, why would we not? But for the time being, it's amazing that we can have 3 Bumblebee. Anyway, moving on. In terms of the stats, 15 health is high. It is higher than the average health of 12, and if we're looking at 10 cost characters, then really here, the only one that's got a kind of better health to star ratio is Jetfire Air Guardian. Jetfire does actually also have a cost of 10 and a health of 15, so, you know, Jetfire, but that's about it. In terms of the attack, you've got 5 in the bot mode, 4 in the car mode, alt mode, compared to your average, and now we have all of them, we can tell you the average is 4. And in terms of defense, we've got 1, whereas the average is 2. The average cost is 8. So we've got a slightly more expensive than average that's got good health, decent attack, and quite poor defense. Now, the skill that really makes me happy here is on the bot mode. While this is your only character on the battlefield, you have +2 health and +2 defense. That's the one that I think we can really make some hay with here. Before we look at that properly, we'll have a quick look at alt mode. When you flip to this mode, this character can attack untapped enemies this turn as though they were tapped. When you attack, you tap your card. That card then can be attacked. If it's untapped, generally, it cannot be attacked. So this is actually quite a nice skill to have. Now, you do have a slightly lower attack in alt mode, but it means if your opponent is saving a character for a turn or two's time, they can't just go, I'm not going to attack, because if I attack, then I'm tapped and I can be hit. I need to save myself for a turn or two. Bumblebee's alt mode's just like, ha, in your face. So that's kind of cool. But what really makes me happy here is the bot mode. This is where I think we can potentially build a deck around this. And I did see this card initially, and I thought, nah, not loving it. That's not that relevant. But then I saw the card Heroism. Heroism is an upgrade card that I like very much indeed. Heroism says if any of your other characters would take attack damage, instead the upgraded character takes that damage. What that means is that you can basically put Heroism onto one of your other Transformers, and that means that you basically save the Bumblebee that you want to stick around while losing one of the other ones. And that's super, super critical to me. It means that essentially you can manipulate the board state so that you've only got Bumblebee left. Because that's the goal here, right? You want Legendary Warrior Bumblebee to be the last Transformer standing, so you can take advantage of what will then be really good stats of a defense of 3, an attack of 7, and a health of 15. So that's really cool. I love this. I think this is the best card in terms of making Bumblebee viable. One of my issues is it's actually quite easy to get rid of upgrades. Disarm will return all upgrades on a character to your opponent's hand. And ramming speed will get ready an upgrade on your opponent's card. So yes, I get it. It's not perfect, but we have got options for getting rid of them. But your opponent won't always play them. And even if they play them, they won't always have them at the perfect time. So I feel slightly better about that. I love heroism here with Bumblebee. I think that's what makes it work. Now, the other thing we need to do is keep Bumblebee alive. Force Field. Get used to me talking about Force Field, ladies and gentlemen. I adore Force Field. If the upgraded character would take 5 or more damage, you scrap Force Field and you only take 4. If you've got a health of 15 and your opponent is doing a maximum of 4 damage, you're going to be sticking around for a little bit. I really like Force Field for keeping him around. Similarly, we've also got a card I like very much, Emergency Maintenance here. Now, Emergency Maintenance is a fun one. You repair 1 damage from one of your characters, but if you've got more stars of characters in your KO area than you have on your battlefield, you repair 2 more damage. Well, if Bumblebee's your last remaining Transformer, you should have 10 in your battle area and 15 in your KO area. Maybe you're only playing 23, 24 stars, because it doesn't quite add up. But still, you should have more in your KO area than your battle area. So when Bumblebee's the last one standing, Emergency Maintenance becomes a really good card. And essentially, it's that and Heroism that changed my mind on this card. Now, the other thing you need to do here is actually make sure that it is your last Transformer standing, and we've got some pretty good options for what I like to call self-KO, clearing your own board to keep Bumblebee as your last one standing. Obviously, you don't want to do this turn 1, but certainly for manipulating the board state at the right time, this could be good. One shall stand, one shall fall is a fairly dramatic card. Choose one of your characters and an enemy character, do 3 damage to each. So hopefully that will KO one of your characters that you want to get KO'd while doing 3 damage to an enemy. That sounds pretty good to me. We also have Peace Through Tyranny. Peace Through Tyranny is the only 2 orange icon action card, so really good when you're attacking. You may KO one of your characters that has 6 stars or more. If you do, take an extra turn after this one. So you can use this to KO your last remaining card to leave Bumblebee as your final one on the board. And then you get an extra turn with Bumblebee as your only character on the board. Both of those are amazing. And Photon Bomb here, do 2 damage to each character. Good for doing damage to them, good for potentially clearing your board, but I don't like that you're doing 2 damage to Bumblebee Legendary Warrior here. That is something you very much don't want to be doing. Now, given that you want to essentially have 1 character remaining, I like the idea of being able to untap Bumblebee, and we've got some options for untapping here as well. We've got Ready for Action, which just untaps one of your characters that has 10 stars or fewer. Oh look, like Bumblebee. But we've actually here got a couple of car exclusive cards, both of which untap. We've got Start Your Engines. Flip each of your characters from bot mode to car mode, then untap one of your cars. That's pretty cool. Although you do have to flip to car mode, then untap. But then again, in the early game, this is really good because, of course, you want the car mode, because then you can attack an untapped character. So that's pretty good. Or we've got the upgrade Turbo Boosters, which gives you an extra attack of 1. You can only put it on cards, but when you put it on a car, untap that character. That's pretty good. Again, you've got to do it onto the car mode, but in the early game, I am down with the car mode here. Now, there are a couple of other cards I want to mention just before we finish up here. Because Bumblebee is a leader card, you can use Matrix of Leadership, which gives all of your characters +1 attack and PS1, which guarantees you're doing 1 damage as long as you've got an attack of 1 when you attack. Because you are a melee character here, you can use Body Armor. Body Armor, shockingly enough, is an upgrade card. It's an armor. And it gives you Tough 3, so you flip 3 more cards when you are defending. So that's quite nice. And Bumblebee does have a specific card for Bumblebee, Agility of Bumblebee. When you put it on Bumblebee and he attacks, you draw a card. So it gives you just a little bit of extra draw power. And if you've got 3 Bumblebee in a deck and you play 3 Agility of Bumblebee and you get 1 on each of your Bumblebee, then you can essentially be drawing many extra cards, which I like very much indeed. The car mode of Bumblebee here, I like. Being able to attack untapped characters is good. And the stats are okay. But when you go into bot mode, I love this, but it really is a character to build a deck around. I don't know if it's going to be a good enough deck. You need to be able to clear your board when you want to, you need to be able to keep Bumblebee alive and really maximize it, and then you need to be able to attack as much as you can with Bumblebee. And like I've shown in this video, we've got options. I'm not excited about this like I'm excited about Nemesis Prime, the other secret rare character, but I do think there is potential, and given that Bumblebee is one of my favourite Transformers, Hot Rod and Grimlock are the others if you're wondering, I love the idea of being able to play a free Bumblebee deck. That amuses me. So, I want to know what you think about Bumblebee Legendary Warrior. I think it's interesting and worth a test, but I'm not convinced it's amazing. But I want to know what you think, so let me know in the comment section. Go nuts, but do please remember the rule to be nice. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wossy, and just make sure you subscribe because there's going to be more Transformers videos, and I'm excited. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wossy Plays.